Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Hey everybody, welcome to Night of the Living podcast, where we talk about horror, science fiction, and fantasy films. And we also hug each other's necks.
Aw, we do.
That's Amy.
Hi.
There's Andy.
Get off my neck.
I'm Freddy, and we're talking about the filmmaker equivalent of the uncle you would see at family reunions but never knew who he was, you know? Walter Hill is that of filmmakers to me. I'm beginning to realize, because I kind of knew who he was, then we got into this, and I realized that his career is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And all over the place.
Very true.
And that I think this is like the biggest example of, he's at this point in 96, when the main attraction we're going to be talking about later on, he was becoming that executive producer guy who maybe wasn't so hands-on, is my impression of this movie.
Oh, yeah. This feels like totally just because they were part of the original show. They have to put their names on this movie.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Bordello of Blood.
Yes.
For you Dennis Miller fans out there.
And there are so many.
Unfortunately, we'll be talking about Bordello of Blood.
I'm kind of glad, though, in a way.
My God.
It is a fun revisit in a way. Not because I like the movie.
No, you don't.
I like the story of the movie more. It's not that I like the movie, but as I learned about how the movie was made and received and all that stuff, it became more interesting to me. But as a movie, no.
No, thank you.
As a curiosity or a piece of trivia, yes.
Yes.
I like how you're walking back your statement. I like the movie, then like, oh yeah, I don't like the movie, but I like the story behind it.
I like the story behind the movie. You know how you might not like a musician, but you love their behind the music episode? If anyone can relate to that.
You would not hold up under a prosecutor.
What would?
On the stand. You would not hold up. You would crumble.
Me? Oh, no. I've never been a fan of Bordello of Blood. I even told Amy when she picked it was a bad movie.
Well, it seemed like more on brand for us. That's why I picked it.
We do talk a lot about bad movies. At least we have.
We have. There are other options out there, obviously, that are more thriller genre stuff, which isn't really what we do.
This is more straight horror.
Yeah.
We lean straight horror.
We try.
Yeah.
On the Kinsey scale of horror, we lean straight.
So in the rest of our lives, man,
we lean all over the place.
My day just was a slow fucking start, I'll tell you.
Did you have a slow start, honey?
I had a slow start.
Oh, no.
I like to make a little music every day, work on something like that, you know, and today it was like down to the wire. It was right before Amy came home from work that I was at the piano and stuff. And our dog's barking at us.
Yes.
Did she end up going out?
No, she did not go out. That's okay.
You want to take over from here and I'll go take care of her?
Sure. So other than Freddy's really slow start to his day,
Sometimes we just don't have banter. I mean, it's weird that we
have to force it.
That we like kind of have a little slot for it. And I don't know.
We don't
Sometimes
always
there's
have
nothing there.
Well, we do have patreon.com/NOTLP. Over there, we have other content like Tropicana. Did I say Tropicana? I meant to say Topicana. We have Origins. I was just listening to the episode that I'll be posting tomorrow. It's where we have a new commentary on old shows. And it was from January 2014. And I thought to myself, what young, sweet summer children we were then. Just arguing over which was the best Paranormal Activity movie. Little did we know that the world would turn to shit. And here we are. We used to be better at this.
At what point was that Paranormal Activity? Where the timeline is that?
This was after the marked ones had come out.
Oh, I don't think I remember that one.
It was good. You should watch it. It came out.
I mean,
this was like
maybe
the
I
fifth
did.
one. It was the fifth one.
Maybe I did see it. I just literally don't remember it.
It It was the one with the more the Hispanic family and the Hispanic main character.
All right. And 4 was a time travel one, right?
4, it was the shitty one with the Connect. But yeah, fucking Paranormal Activity.
I believe it was like another dimension that they found or something. And then I think maybe that what Scream 4 was making fun of because they said one of the stab movies was about time travel. I don't know.
I see.
Paranormal Activity talk?
Yep.
I heard the one with the Connect and pieced the rest together.
Good for you.
Our dog is playing with my heart.
She likes to do that.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed and is a good, like a brighter side to having a dog in diapers is that you don't have to deal with farts as much.
It's sealed in for freshness. Get to crack that open later.
Is it awful when you take them off though?
No, the skid marks are awful. She has to get fresh diapers a lot, you know.
Do you guys just not want to wash them?
What do you, no, we wash them.
They get washed. Don't worry.
Yeah, they get washed
okay.
and they dry in the sun to sanitize them. Is how that works. No, it's.
I thought you were saying that you just keep buying them over and over again.
Oh no!
It's gross.
no, we're just reusing them. It's mostly, you know, the thing is you probably didn't come
really
here to hear
to
about this,
about
but
dog and diapers. But
we are. The good news is that it's a clear liquid that's water-like that comes out of the old lady. So it's not.
I'm
going to
make it. If we bring up dog diapers next week, I was going to put a kibosh on it right away because I think we've talked about dog diapers to last a lifetime.
Given you the whole story. There's nothing left. All the details are out.
Yeah.
People diapers, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Now
baby play.
Guess we could just pull the Band-Aid off and just jump into Bordello of Blood.
That sounds good. You want to?
Yes.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction. This week's main attraction is Tales from the Crypt presents Bordello of Blood. Released August 17, 1996 as a late summer entry. Originally supposed to be timed for one of the spooky holidays or a Friday the 13th.
And then they dumped it in August?
They ended up releasing it in August, yep.
That's not good.
Yep. And as we already said, Walter Hill's connection to this is executive producer, which is usually like ceremonial. So I don't think he had any creative input on this, really.
I hope not.
The thing that blows my mind, okay, they made the first one, Demon Night, which I loved. I saw it in the theater maybe twice even, and then on home video. I haven't revisited it as like a middle-aged man. It might be terrible, like Bordello of Blood's terrible, but I remember it being better. Are you a Demon Night fan at all, Andy?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's a good time.
And there has the Tales from the Crypt brand, but it also has an artifact in common with this movie, which is the key that is filled with the blood of. Is it supposed to be Jesus in the first movie? I think.
I don't remember.
But that artifact is used to control our vampire in this movie, Lilith. That's the story connection. But the studio, Universal, they worked with HBO to start spinning off the Tales from the Crypt brand, and they originally said, we'll do 3 movies. And they did Demon Night, they did this one, and they had one planned called Fat Tuesday, was the 3rd movie. And then Universal's like, this movie, Bordello of Blood, did terribly. And we're just scrapping the whole project. And then the Miramax people came over and were like, scraps. And they made Ritual with Jennifer Grey, which we covered in the early years on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was strangely off-brand in a lot of ways.
I don't remember a single thing about it. I don't know that I've seen it.
Yeah, you might not. Somebody may have just watched it for
straight to video.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know if I drew it.
Yeah.
The director of this one, Gilbert Adler, this guy really, he had never made a feature. He's known to horror fans because he made several episodes of genre TV, Freddy's Nightmares. He did the season 4 and 5 episodes of Tales from the Crypt. What's Cooking, where they kill and eat meatloaf. Remember that one with Christopher Reeves?
Oh, yeah.
And his wife run a diner, this failing diner, and they end up, spoiler alert, They end up killing Meatloaf and serving him, and people love it. You know, like the actor Meatloaf, not you know what I mean.
Not the food.
Not the food, obviously. And he also did Death of Some Salesman with Ed Begley Jr., which was a pretty good one too. But never a feature. In fact he wrote the first episode of Freddy's Nightmares too.
Oof.
That's who you're dealing with here.
Okay.
Freddy's Tricks and Treats, which I love for nostalgia reasons, but it's a pretty silly episode of television.
All of them were.
And I found a quote from him probably talking about this movie. He says, "No one has a crystal ball that can predict what's going to work and what's not. If that existed, whoever owned it could sit on top of a mountain and charge $1 million a visit and people would be lined up for miles."
So interesting.
Yeah. I mean, his perspective is, hey, man, sometimes things work like my project, whatever, and then other times it doesn't, like this other thing I did. But the truth of it is, the guy's career was kind of rickety from the start. They had him as the showrunner on Tales from the Crypt for that like last season they did over in the UK. Thing that surprised me a lot is the story for this was Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, who did Back to the Future and Amazing Stories and all that. But this was like their college project they wrote. So it kind of explains the juvenile tone of it. I don't think it matured when it was passed off to the screenwriters, who are the people who wrote for Freddy's Nightmares. Yeah. So it'd been sitting around development hell, and then it finally got produced as part of this Tales from the Crypt brand of movies. The story, do you want to get into that a little bit?
It's disappointing that it's not like pure in a way.
Well,
but it was something else before it became a Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, it wasn't a comic.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that we were in trouble right as soon as the Crypt Keeper appeared on screen to do the kind of the wraparound story, and his lips weren't moving at all. Did you guys notice that?
I didn't even notice that. No.
Like he's talking to the mummy, and you hear his voice, but his mouth isn't moving at all. But eventually it does kick in and start moving, and I was like, "Oh no!"
There were 6 people operating that puppet. Somebody slipped up. It took 6 people. Mm-hmm.
I think it goes to show how rushed and lazy this whole production was.
Yeah. There are line reads that probably should have been reshot by, especially Angie Everhart had some really strange line reads.
Yeah. Like, I want to give her some grace a little bit because she's not an actress. But yeah. Wow.
And the minute she decided to do this, she became an actress, and she should have done a better job.
Wasn't she in the second? She was in like the sequel to 9.5 Weeks they made, like 9.5 More Weeks or 10 Weeks. I don't know what it was called. It was something like that. I think that was before this, but didn't Stallone, or maybe not. Stallone got her career going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were they together?
No, I don't think so. But he got her into movies. I know that.
But at least she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
So you have that, Angie.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
No one can take that away.
You know what? As weird as her line readings are in the movie, I've watched this twice now. I've seen it 3 times in total. The last I watched it today while taking notes on it, and some of her line reads are kind of fun, even though they're bad.
Yeah, here's like you can see that she's trying at least.
Yeah, she has some personality.
I feel like she's kind of going for like a Mae West type of thing.
Yeah,
come
up and see me sometime.
Yeah, she's trying to do something at least, and but I will say that she's a lot more tolerable than Dennis Miller is.
I'll be the only one to kind of give him some grace. I know, but I thought he did an okay job for being him.
He was for many people, he's the highlight of the movie.
Oh wow!
And for me, there's something about him that rubs me the wrong way on a real id level, like deep down.
The voice is just so grating, A. And B, it feels like they gave him like an outline, and it felt like his lines were ad-libbed because
They were
just,
ad-libbed.
the whole time he's doing his Dennis Miller delivery thing, and it's so dated and annoying.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to do Bill Murray and Ghostbusters in a way, and it's coming off more like Pervert Next Door, kind of gross dude in your neighborhood instead.
I used to be such a fan of his.
Weekend Update.
Before he ruined it all. Yeah, he was like, everybody has their own SNL cast, right? And he was my Weekend Update, my first.
He was great on Weekend Update.
Anchor. And then I have a soft spot in my heart for stand-ups when they want to act.
Yeah.
So I gave him a lot more grace than you two, and that's okay.
I think his politics, let's be honest, turned me off. And then when he came to Monday Night Football, it was such a ridiculous disaster. Yeah. So anyways, Dennis Miller. Yeah. One of the reasons that, as Andy was pointing out, his performance is so wonky and weird. He has to be shot out, which just means that they have a day of 13 hours scheduled for the movie. And that part of that, his downtime, a lot of actors will go stand in where they would be in the scene and let the other actor play off of them. But he was subtracting 5 hours from that process every day and saying, I want to be shot out within an 8 hour amount of time, which meant that he was not there for whenever you see him in a scene, he's not usually in the room with the other people.
Seems like a dick move.
They hated him for it. The other actors hated
fuck
him. Him and he got into it with Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I mean,
apparently.
It's funny that you say it seems like a dick move. It's like he is a dick.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then he would ad-lib, they didn't want him to ad-lib in scenes, but he was doing it anyway, so the actors didn't know their cues. They didn't know what they were reacting to from him.
So he's fucking up their performances too.
Right. Because he might be supposed to say line A, but he improvises line B, and the other actors prepare to respond to line A. And now their script has to be altered.
I mean, like what you said makes sense because there's a couple points where there's some obvious ADR for Dennis Miller, and it's not even his voice. It didn't seem like.
They got an impersonator.
Yeah, they didn't get along. Like at the end of him and the director, especially, and he Adler, the guy who directed the movie, was on a podcast called "How Not to Make a Movie," I think is the name of it, and he said that Dennis Miller on the last day of shooting came over and hugged him and said, would you want to come to my home and have dinner with me and my wife? And the director said no. And Dennis Miller thought he was joking. And then he never responded to any of his invitations, I guess. And then they had to call Dennis Miller back in, probably for the reason you were saying, Andy, to do ADR most likely. And they had to be in the room together again. He realized that he hated his guts for real.
Yeah. It's funny that, when you're the bad guy in a Corey Feldman relation, compared to Corey Feldman, that tells you something.
For real. They only gave them $2.5 million to make this movie. In '96, even I think that was pretty low budget.
Oh yeah.
You don't really even see horror movies hardly made outside of like the Blumhouse and like Trauma circuit for less than that. Like I don't think anybody does that anymore, really. So they were in Vancouver shooting this, doubling for I don't even know half the time. I know they did South America in the beginning, where Phil Fondacaro's character is playing a like Indiana Jones style character named Vincent Prather. You think he's like Indiana Jones, and really he just works for a televangelist.
I'm just wondering how Lilith the vampire's body ended up in South America.
Right. And in this tomb.
You're like, that might have been a more interesting story.
Because she doesn't look like a South American. We don't get her
it's Andy Everhart.
Story.
Yeah, it's like I need the story of how she got there in the first place, and they never explained that. I mean, don't necessarily need an explanation, but when you're nitpicking such a bad movie, you want some answers.
I want answers, damn it.
So we all know and love Phil Fondacaro.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in everything that has a little person in it since Under the Rainbow.
Yeah.
I think it was his first movie. So, and all the George Lucas stuff. And then this and a lot of B movies, but I love him. There's something he brings a quality to it that makes me soften to how bad the movie is in a way, because I like him so much. Because he was in Troll. Remember Troll?
Yeah, he's the highlight of this movie. Him and the funeral director.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
And Miguel, the guide in the beginning, I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was fine. Like he's barely in it to register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I will say that the beginning was interesting, especially with the practical effects with the heart and the skeleton of Lilith and her being what'd you say? Reanimated. Yeah. The Tales from the Crypt makeup effects, you know how fun they are. Like they're on display here, and I like that part.
Yeah, the makeup effects and the dolls and things they use throughout the movie are really good. Practical stuff. In that opening, he calls Lilith the most horrible woman the world has ever known. And by the way, Angie Everhart is from Akron. Did you know that?
Ohio gal.
Yeah. And she and Erica Liniak, who we haven't talked about yet, who's a major character in the movie here, they were both on that reality show, The Real Gilligan's Island.
Oh.
You guys remember this at all?
I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
She had to, I don't know if she had to be evac'd or what. She cut her finger, and I don't know. It was like a Survivor blended type of thing. I can't remember. I didn't look up the trailer for it, but now I'm really curious to go back because I remember watching an episode or two of that when it was on the air. That's Ms. Millie screaming again at us. Sorry.
We're going to ignore
if you can
her.
Hear her.
Can you hear her, Andy?
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, damn it.
But,
listeners can hear.
Do you think that they had the script just sitting there and then Lilith Fair became popular and they said, hey, let's do this movie?
Was Lilith Fair big in 96 already? I can't remember.
It's about that same time, isn't it?
I thought it was earlier.
Yeah, I doubt that very highly that Lilith Fair was on the radar of the production of this movie at all.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe just the opposite. So Lilith's been brought back to life. Andy was talking about the great props. There's the one that's just her heart cut into 4 pieces in the box, which is what keeps her dead.
It's the only way to make her stop is to get her heart and cut it into 4 equal sections.
And then there is the key from the first movie, Demon Knight, that controls her, whether you have it on you or in a safe.
As long as you own it.
Now, why bring it with you at all? Anywhere, ever, is my question there.
You need to set up the story.
He could still have done that. He could have done it through flashbacks.
Well, it's not like they're working on a tight script. It's Tales from the Crypt. They need to spoon feed the audience.
Yeah, I feel like you could have had a storybook in the beginning if you wanted to, but then maybe it was too many changes because it shifts from this open, which is a cold open before we even establish this as a Tales from the Crypt movie. Then you get the wraparound, right? After the cold open,
then
which is
the
Crypt Keeper, and then William Sadler is back from The Man Who Was Death, playing the mummy. And I had questions about this too. Is there a larger world in this tomb? Does the Crypt Keeper have his crypt under the house?
No, I think they were going for a Spago type thing with all the other monsters in the background, whining and dining and wheeling and dealing,
being seen.
Because you have all these other monsters in the background, and Crypt Keeper and the mummy are having dinner together, and at one point the mummy shouts out, "Hey Jack, how you doing?" So I think that's their version of a Monster Hollywood. And I like that setup. It
was fun. They gave the Crypt Keeper an internal monologue, which I don't remember them doing before.
He was so annoyed by the mummy.
Maybe
Crypt Keeper was bored and annoyed.
You know what? Yeah. I think what you thought when his mouth wasn't moving was his internal monologue.
Oh, was that his internal? Okay.
Yeah, because
maybe that's it then.
That's what it was. Because those puppeteers wouldn't have forgotten to work his mouth. But yeah, he had an internal monologue. It's not obvious though. I could see why you would think it was just not moving, because all they did to indicate it was an internal monologue, was add a little reverb to it. So it was a little echoey.
Mhm.
But they've never done that on another Tales from the Crypt that I know of. So you're not expecting the character to have that as a feature, you know? That's what you get when you experiment. You confuse people sometimes. Sometimes. So I was wondering, is there a bigger world in this underground? Like is that a restaurant in the Crypt Keeper's world?
No, I think he just went out and he went out to dinner to the Monster Cafe.
The Monster Cafe. It looks like it's the same designer as his crypt. Like it was all is why I ask. Yeah, so you get through that, then you get your normal Tales from the Crypt introduction, and now we are moved to Phil Fondacaro's character's home, where he brought back the key that controls Lilith, and now she has set up below the McCutcheon funeral home a brothel, and is working with McCutcheon, who runs. They don't establish this either, like how her relationship with the guy who owns the mortuary
at 325 Beaumont Street. Asked for the Cunningham wake.
Yeah, did you feel like were those supposed to be nods to horror people?
I don't know,
because Charles Beaumont was a writer on a lot of Twilight Zone episodes, and Cunningham is like Sean Cunningham. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was just a coincidence.
Could be. Speculation is fun.
Who knows? The movie's not good enough to support having cute things like that in it.
Well, like you said, one of the problem is that they overcomplicated the whole thing by having the preacher subplot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't need him.
If you just kept it as a straight up, maybe you needed it because otherwise it'd just be a really long Tales from the Crypt episode. But if they just kept it simple and just a Bordello of Blood instead of the evangelical thing, that made it a little too complicated.
It was wonky.
Yeah, it was like, oh, he wants to control Lilith because Lilith is killing sinners, and that's good.
Yeah, so
he's the one who awoke her.
This church, right? It's like a mega church, it feels like.
Yeah.
Current World Ministries, where it's like kind of funny, tongue in cheek. Like he's supposed to be like the cool reverend, I guess, with the electric guitar. It reminded me, it kind of have a Righteous Gemstones vibe about it, his church. And it's sorry, I just all of a sudden drew a blank on his name.
Chris Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon, thank you, who we've had on the podcast years and years ago.
Yeah.
Years.
Such a nice fella.
I mean, this was the era of like the Tammy Faye and Jim Baker stuff. So like the mega churches were, rising up. So maybe a little late because this was mid 90s and I think I was like more 80s.
Don't you feel like too this movie introduces characters at this point in a weird like people aren't introduced until certain moments in the movie that feel late for their character storyline. It's kind of the characters feel like they're disposable in that way. Like the first act, like Catherine, once we get into the real Tales from the Crypt story and past the intro stuff, Catherine Verdu is this it's Erica Leniak is working for the Reverend.
Yes.
And in the original script, she was an ex porn star, and that's what they were talking, like when she has like the chubby whatever poster she finds in Dennis Miller's place, and he keeps recognizing her and saying he knows her face. It's because in the original story she was a porn star.
Oh, okay.
And she
I just thought he was being a creep and hitting on her or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. That's they change stuff and they don't modify other things, in the script. Erica Leniak. She was in E.T. I don't know if people remember that, but she's the little girl that Elliot kisses when the frogs are let out in the science class. So like that was her big break. And then Baywatch, she was pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
And she was Ellie Mae in the Beverly Hillbillies movie and all that. And she was in Under Siege, big star. And then the Blob remake, which we love. But like not a name that you think about very much. Like she kind of just
she's
faded.
of her time.
Yeah.
Yes. There
Faded
you
into
go.
obscurity. Her brother is Corey Feldman in this. While she's converted and now very Christian, he's more of a
He's
punk.
a bad boy.
Yeah.
He's got his hair all gelled up. He's got his very straight line, shaven hair, facial hair.
It's 5 o'clock shadow, but it's cultivated. Real.
I feel like it's drawn on.
Kind of does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's got skull earrings, so watch the fuck out.
Well, it's kind of interesting what they did with him because you're introduced to him and it's like, you're like, oh my God, it's Corey Feldman.
Right.
But then he gets often within the first act.
Yep.
And yeah, that was kind of like almost like a Drew Barrymore type thing where you thought it was going to be his story.
It was hard to say whose story it was going to be because like you're introduced to so many main characters who don't become main characters. Like to me, like the one who makes the most sense who changes is the Reverend. Like if anyone's the main character, he's the only one that comes out of it. Like he like starts off as being this bad guy who has this come to Jesus moment or whatever. But yeah, Corey Feldman's character is very much I think a casting stunt because even in '96, I think he still had
some cachet.
Yeah. Jenkins, this guy who, when Corey Feldman goes out with his buddies to this dive bar and they play this game where they throw darts at each other, like
what a fun game,
like nice guys do. Now these rowdy dudes, now I understand. I'm like, okay, this is who maybe Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis were when they wrote this. Maybe they were around this kind of these personalities.
Rowdy boys. It feels very like it's like an Animal House level of like ne'er-do-well, wild person kind of stuff, which they don't make comedies like that anymore, those characters, because people don't really like those characters anymore because they realize.
You need to establish that these are bad guys and they kind of in the movie's eyes that they deserve their fate because that's what the setup for the Reverend is.
Yeah.
So we're meant to show that these aren't great guys.
Yeah, but they're also like they're rowdy. Like I don't know if they're college age or teenage. They're like kind of a little bit stereotypical too, right? Like of the era, maybe more '80s than '90s, but
college age.
College age, yeah. Because they were drinking at the bar, but who knows the chaos there? I mean, Corey Feldman was wearing those little sunglasses and stuff. Who knows?
It was so '90s, it hurt.
Those little circles, strange.
I had to explain to somebody born in the '90s today who Kevin Smith was.
Oh yeah, well,
but how exciting for them to go and discover Clerks, and Mallrats and shit.
What if they don't like any of it?
Well, then
might not be exciting for them.
Never speak to them ever again.
Do you tell them that was your cousin?
I did.
Did you?
No.
Oh. Kevin Smith is Amy's cousin, but she doesn't like to talk about it.
I don't believe it's true.
She doesn't believe it's true. I don't know why. Jenkins, the guy who comes to the bar, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Kondrashov. I don't know, but I thought he was just so unhinged. Like, I don't know if that performance.
He's the one that goes with him to the brothel?
Yeah, the one who wore the little Confederate flag jean jacket thing, who's like, you want to get the best piece of ass. It's the broadest performance in Tales from the Crypt history, maybe.
That's saying something.
He's the one who tells him to ask for the Cunningham wake.
So they get to the funeral home, and then I thought it was Chris Elliott from Scary Movie at first.
He does have a similar stance.
The funeral director?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's like, the funeral director, I thought he was the highlight of the movie.
That guy's great. And
like, he had to ask for the Cunningham wake.
Yeah.
And that's the code word to get to the prostitutes. And I love the setup of them, how they get set down to the bordello.
Oh yeah.
The little slide down
crematorium.
The crematorium.
Yeah.
And they put them both in the casket, and they slide down. It's very what's that movie with Dan DeVito?
Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, Nothing But Trouble. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it was a fun. There's in the '90s. I think we got funeral homes down pat with Tales from the Hood. Every movie, like funeral homes, were scary as shit.
Yeah,
in the 90s
and
movies.
People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, People Under the Stairs, and then they had to come out with that series on HBO about the family that ran the funeral home. No, I'm
Oh,
drawing
6
blank.
Feet Under.
Yep. And they made funeral homes less scary.
Yeah.
And now they're all accessible, and people are like, it's not
Yeah.
scary. You ruined it.
It should be scary.
McCutcheon, the guy who runs the funeral home, that's Aubrey Morris. Him and his brother.
Oh,
were
your cousin.
Yeah. I don't think I'm actually related to him, but
I know.
Amy is related to Kevin Smith. Aubrey Morris, British actor. Him and his brother were in a bunch of Hammer movies. He was in The Wicker Man. They were in The Abominable Snowman, bunch of good shit. I love that guy. Like Andy said, he's one of the highlights of the movie. Now, after they're shot down into the actual Bordello proper, they're welcomed by nary a covered titty in sight. Right?
So many tits.
It's nostalgic because this is the 90s Playmate look, porn star look, with the big teased hair and the frosted lipstick and
Big fake
just
tits.
a certain type of boob from the 90s. That if you grew up with it, then you recognize 90s boobs.
90s boobs.
They were different from 80s boobs. Different from today's boobs. 80s boobs were smaller. 90s boobs were bigger. Don't you think?
90s boobs were.
Yeah.
It was more in fashion to have large breasts
Yeah.
in the 90s. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they were more round.
Yes. As the good Lord and the doctors made them.
Do you guys remember what the welcoming committee said to Corey Feldman and his buddy when they arrived? It's one of the great lines. I don't know if you wrote it down.
I did not write it down.
Are you guys ready?
Oh, the tuna.
Yes.
Is it the Tuna Town line?
Yeah. Do you remember it?
It was like the Skinned Express to Tuna Town.
That's exactly
something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was fun.
That was pretty fun.
And gross.
Yeah. The skin. This movie's
Fun
very
and
raunchy.
gross. Yeah.
It feels like teenagers wrote it because
It
teenagers.
does.
Yeah.
did.
But it fits the tone of, Tales from the Crypt in the movie. So I did appreciate that. The Tuna Town.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying on the second viewing of this, the third viewing really. But watching it again, I forgave a lot the second time where I was just like, if I were just here and this was the last movie on Earth and this is just some piece of entertainment, I wouldn't turn it off to go enjoy like a sunset. I would be laughing at this. I had a lot of laughs.
Good.
It wasn't
So,
always when they meant me to have
yeah.
them, but I had them.
So we're finally introduced to Lilith in her modern day form. And I thought the way that she killed her victims was pretty interesting with the long tongue.
Yeah.
And going down their throat. And then the tongue forces the heart out through their chest.
And then she
So
eats the heart.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's new.
wasteful too. Because all they eat is the heart, right?
That's all
That's all we ever
she
see of them.
eats the heart, but I think the other vampires
Just suck
finish
blood.
the rest.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if they just
But
sucked.
at that point,
because they
they're
do
dead,
bury 'em.
right?
Yeah.
But at that point, after the heart is forced through the chest, they're dead, and then they can't drink dead blood.
Well, I
Isn't
mean,
that one of the rules?
they can't drink the blood of the dead. It depends. Like vampire mythology shifts by screenwriter.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules of vampirism in this world is because
Right.
they make their own rules because you can have sunscreen and be a vampire.
Yeah, as long as
And
you have
this-
sunscreen on, but not always. Sunscreen and clothes are enough to protect you from the sun in this
Right.
movie, which happens to Miss Canada, who was the new hire character. This movie has cameos, y'all. We already said William Sadler, but Whoopi Goldberg is in the third act of this movie.
Why though? Like, does she have
Exactly.
any relationship to like the filmmakers or anything like that?
She was on Tales from the Crypt, the series.
Okay.
And she worked for HBO. Remember Comic Relief? They used to do that every year. So I think it was the HBO connection is why she was in
Yeah,
it.
it just seemed very out of the blue.
Well, yeah, now, because out of context, you forget that every year we watch Whoopi Goldberg perform on Comic Relief. If you had HBO, you're probably watching it. So she was like a brand ambassador. Her and Billy Crystal and Robin Williams were all like HBO like brand ambassadors during that like charity push.
I miss telethons.
Right?
Yeah, it was nice. Good causes, entertainment.
Some weird shit would go down.
Yeah, always. But and then the last, well, if you were Canadian, I guess you would know that the new hire was Miss Canada, Kiara Hunter, who.
I don't think if you're Canadian that you would know that either.
No,
you ever know?
I don't know who Miss USA is.
No, but you're not like the Canadian pride. You know, these guys, they know every Canadian band, people from Canada,
I guess.
all that pride, all that national pride.
Yeah.
If you're a Canadian, you're like, and you know who Kiara Hunter is because of your nationality.
And now you've seen her boobs. A lot.
So Corey Feldman is off by the vampires too, and we bring in Erica Laniak's his sister, and she's looking for him because he's gone missing. And the cops want to help her, so she gets Dennis Miller, who is a private investigator, to help her out.
Rafe Gutman.
And then
weird
that's even
name.
a gross name.
Yeah.
Gutman.
And then we just see Dennis Miller in all his Dennis Miller glory. And he investigates the Bordello and just gets to the bottom of things. And then we're introduced to the character of the preacher that Erica Laniak works for. And like I said, that was kind of a pointless storyline.
Yeah, you
It
could
really
have cut
was.
that.
Although they needed the god light, the god laser.
For the climax. I mean, he could have handled
Laser
it 100
light
different
of the
ways.
Lord.
He called
It's
it a
funny
laser.
because they try to make this sleazy preacher guy like a hero a little bit, and the way that he's portrayed is not heroic at all.
He's not redeemable.
You're not meant to like him at all.
Yeah.
And at the end, they make him this hero that kind of saves the day. It was just an odd choice.
We kind of glossed over where she first goes to his office to Gutman, the detective. It's in that movie theater.
He
I thought
lives
was cool.
in a movie theater. He lives and works in a movie theater. That was an interesting set.
Yeah, so it said now playing, and it had his name, private investigator. He only had one business card. Like the insinuation is he lost everything in a divorce.
Right.
Because of course she would be divorced.
Yeah, it's like him. She's a lot stronger than I could be ever marrying him.
Oh man, he would be a lot to be married to. Yeah, so it's part of his investigation. He goes back to the bar too, where they got recruited, and that's how he ends up running into the guy who had the subtle performance as Jenkins, the jean jacket freak. And now
He's like a familiar, basically, right?
Yeah, he's like a
He's
ghoul.
like a. You think he's like a ghoul, or is he like a Renfield?
Yeah, Renfield was a ghoul, wasn't he?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just think he's the Renfield.
Yeah, till his head gets popped off.
Well, that does happen.
Do they have multiple Renfields? Is also the thing. Like you kind of feel
there
like
was
they
the mortuary guy.
The mortuary guy was kind of a Renfield.
Yeah,
But they never really show him like suffering from vampires symptoms. But
true.
They do show this Jenkins guy. Lord, that guy. Oof.
He really made an impression on you, and he did not make one on me.
It was just so outsized and ridiculous. Not I mean, but you know, the movie is that, but also it just felt like he was goofing around and they kept it.
He was new boot goofing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. And another kind of unnecessary storyline was Dennis Miller. He was supposed to have this special blood that Lilith craves.
Yeah.
And they want to keep him alive instead of just killing him.
But that's it.
They complicate this unnecessarily at so many points. I don't really get, and you know, I think it's Robert Zemeckis. One of the guys who wrote it originally, the story, can't watch it. They say they've never watched the finished thing because they're so appalled by what happened with the movie.
Well, the script wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Assuming
funny.
they shot the script.
Yeah, I guess the big reveal is that the preacher, he's involved in this whole Bordello of Blood.
He's behind it.
And yeah, he basically runs it to get rid of sinners And it's like, that's not your job, sir.
He has the laser.
And just
Laser.
because
He calls it a laser.
Laser.
Just because you frequent, sex workers doesn't mean make you a bad person.
True. Correct. Another weird. You're like the laser. We need to talk about the laser.
Do you want to skip
part
to
of
the
a?
laser?
It's part of a show, a spectacle they would create where the Satan would rise up on the stage, this giant Satan face, and then the laser would destroy it, and then everybody would be saved by God.
It involved his electric guitar somehow too. Like he had a mirror on the
Oh
headstock.
yeah, this is the Reverend. Yes.
It was a big stage production.
Yeah.
But the laser.
And you're like, where are we going to be using this laser later, huh?
Well, why is the laser so fucking powerful? Is the
it can
question
cut
I
through
had.
anything.
Yeah, like why would a stage prop? You're like, hey, the new lighting rig is in. Don't turn it all the way up. Basically, yeah.
They use that to kill Lilith
in the grand finale. But before you get to that, you have to have the showdown right in the Bordello first, right? With
the holy water.
With the holy water super soakers.
Holy water super soaker.
I think I got that in the right
to
order.
Ballroom Blitz.
How dare they use a song like that in a movie like this?
A good song, bad
weird version of Ballroom Blitz too.
It's a version I had never heard before.
Yeah. It was this movie had a soundtrack they released too, an album.
Yeah.
But
well, every movie back then had a soundtrack, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the tail end. It was when people near the end of all that, I feel like, don't you?
Yeah.
I feel like after Scream, we didn't get a lot more of them.
But this big set piece where like the preacher and Dennis Miller come in guns a-blazing with super soakers full of holy water, it just felt very anticlimactic because these vampires who seem pretty powerful, I mean, they're vampires, they got taken out pretty easily.
Yeah. And
yeah,
they didn't even fight back.
Well, they couldn't fight back because I think what happened again was in an attempt to accommodate Dennis Miller's demands and maybe even some of the bigger stars, other big stars involved, like they weren't in the same frame as the people they were fighting a lot of the time. Like it would be cut to close up of Dennis Miller squirting a super soaker, then cut to close up of vampire actor disintegrating, then cut to Chris Sarandon in close up, then cut to another vampire. It was never a full frame of the actors fighting. Like you watch people compared this movie to From Dusk Till Dawn when it came out.
That's just insulting.
Not in a good way. It was as an example of saying, in From Dusk Till Dawn, the fight sequences, your full body fight sequences in there between actors. It matters. When you're making this kind of movie, that shit matters. It was. Can you imagine
if they cast a more accommodating actor? Could have been a better movie.
Oh, right. Well, depending on what they're willing to give, it shows with some of these people who give in their performances, and then they make these legendary movies, and then sometimes they do that, and the movie still sucks. So who knows? I don't think Dennis Miller was going to go method.
Aside from like his diva demands, his performance just actively took away from the movie too.
You mean because it was too casual?
No, just too Dennis Miller-y and too casual.
He never wanted to really inhabit the character he was playing.
Yeah,
he was playing Dennis Miller, playing Rafe Gutman.
Well, all of his dialogue was jokes.
Yeah,
the only time he was even half serious is after the shit has hit the fan. In maybe one line, he's like, "I'm pretty keyed up here, Reverend. Are you friend or foe?" It's supposed to be his badass moment, and then he's right back to joking again. And they're not always good jokes. It's playful banter. It's like the boss who thinks they're your best friend or whatever, who has banters with you, feeling is very like condescending the way he talks to people.
That's his shtick.
Yeah. And yeah. Oh, I know. That's totally the gag, and it's funny sometimes, but like it didn't work because he didn't really foil anybody with his wit in the movie. You know what I mean? It was just, you watch Beverly Hills Cop and he's really funny. Eddie Murphy does this thing where he's really funny, and then when he has to fight people, you still buy it.
Yeah. like he needs to charm people. Like a character like this needs to charm people into sneaking around and everything and investigating. This guy's just an asshole and it is like off-putting. So like you wouldn't be like charmed by him at all.
He never lets his guard down. People they want to see this kind of character by this point, 96. We want more complicated leading characters. We don't want a guy who just jokes the whole film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even again, Deadpool is mostly jokes, but Deadpool has moments of vulnerability. I think that's why people like that character so much.
Yeah. But I did appreciate the end, at least. That was satisfying.
Yeah, the big fight in the church.
No, at the reveal at the end where where it turns out Erica Laniak has been turned to a vampire.
And he didn't think to check her inner thigh for bite marks.
But he was inching his hand up there looking for some nookie.
So we've established that in this universe, that doesn't matter if you kill the head vampire at all then.
Nope.
All those other vampires just
she was the mother of all vampires, so
yeah.
You kill her, you should have cured all of them, but no.
It was nice to see his character get killed in the end because that made it feel like a Tales from the Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have happy endings, Tales from the Crypt episodes usually.
Right.
So I assume that since the vampire survives, there's an opening for Bordello of Blood 2.
Oh, we're still waiting, Andy. 30 years later.
Be a legacy sequel.
Erica Laniak's too busy.
They can't get the cast together. Schedules. You know how it is in Hollyweird. So anyway, Bordello of Blood. Anything else to say about it?
I would say skip it.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're a hardcore completist of Tales from the Crypt stories and bad. If you like campy movies, though, you might like it. It's pretty fucking campy.
Yeah. If you like boobies, too. You see a lot of boobies.
A lot of boobies.
Yeah, if you want somewhere to see some boobies. There you go.
So next week, we're going to be talking about Tim's pick.
Yeah.
I sent Tim to let him know if you're interested in a chance to pick a main attraction, just subscribe to our mailing list at notlp.com. And we drew Tim's name, who we love, and I was really interested to see what you'd pick. And immediately he replied with Red Heat. At first he said Dead Heat, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a Walter Hill movie. He meant Red Heat. Dead Heat's also fun. Joe Piscopo is a zombie. But Red Heat is the Schwarzenegger, Jim Belushi, the wrong Belushi died. I'm kidding.
You can't say that.
What a horrible thing to say.
Why did you do that?
I was thinking of Walk Hard, where he's like, the wrong kid died.
Yeah.
And then I said that. Peter Boyle's in it too, though. It's Red Heat. Walter Hill wrote and directed, so we're back to a real Walter Hill joint. Let's see. I don't remember this too well. I love Schwarzenegger, though. So I'm kind of excited. I'm cautiously optimistic. Jim Belushi, we'll see.
Well, it can't be worse than this.
Can't be
worse than
this
Dennis
is
Miller.
really the floor.
I remember, I think this movie was pretty good.
Red Heat?
Yeah, I feel like it at least has some really good action sequences.
All right.
In it.
Well, we'll be talking about that next week. How exciting. Are you excited? Oh, my God.
Get to see Schwarzenegger play Russian.
What I have always wanted in my life is that.
Wouldn't it be funny if he did a Russian accent? Would you even know?
I think I would know the difference between a German and a Russian accent.
Well, I don't even know what else. Like his accent is so specific that it could be any Eastern European country.
Right. He could probably just use his normal Austrian accent.
Yeah.
And most Americans wouldn't know the difference.
That time in the show where we move the fuck on.
It's my favorite.
And we're going to talk about what else we've been watching in our lives. Freddie Morrison, your life. What have you been watching?
I watched in response to what you watched.
You clapped back.
I did. I watched a movie that is a parody of the movie that Amy watched, kind of, in some respects. It's called Fackham Hall, and it's a new movie that you can watch on Max. And it's Jim O'Hanlon directed it. It's a comedy in the traditional like Airplane and Naked Gun, but it's about It's parodying period piece stories like Downton Abbey and Cozy Mysteries, Poirot, that sort of thing. It's really funny. It's got a good cast. Thomasin McKenzie, Ben Radcliffe, Damian Lewis, Haley Mills is in
I
it.
recognize Damian Lewis. That was it.
Oh, Damian Lewis is awesome in this. Also, Tom Felton from Harry Potter.
Oh, Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy's in it. And I didn't even realize it was him until after I was done watching the movie. Everybody in it's really funny. I highly recommend it, especially if you were watching Downton Abbey when it aired or into PBS Mystery or any of that stuff. There's a lot of nods to all that in here. And it is super, super silly.
Do you get the joke, Andy? Fackham Hall.
Like Fackham Hall.
There you go.
There it is. Andy got it.
Took me
It's
a
not
minute.
it's not like a brain teaser. I think it's pretty
You
obvious.
get that, Andy?
Well,
you get this brain teaser, you'll cure yourself of Alzheimer's.
I skipped over it so many times since I saw it, since it came out on streaming, because the poster, to me, I'm just like, okay, that's just a period piece. There's nothing to indicate on the poster that
It's a joke.
that it's a wild.
Oh, Freddy, my sweet summer child.
Well, unless you look up in the air above, you really have to look, because above the manor behind them, there is a moose flying through the air and some geese in a V formation. I don't know what's a joke in the poster. The movie's better than the poster.
Fackham Hall. All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all you have?
I mean, that's all. For some reason,
All the,
the week got away from me. I didn't watch very much. I had Jail on. Jail was just playing in the background. I didn't watch
Jail's
anything.
so good. I'll go next then, like I usually do. So Freddy was riffing on a movie that I watched with his movie. The movie that I watched was Death on the Nile from 1978. Stacked fucking cast. Let me tell you about it. Peter Ustinov as Poirot. This is an Agatha Christie, of course.
Was this his first Poirot?
I don't know.
I'll find out for you.
I just read Death on the Nile like a month or so ago. So I was excited to watch a version of Death on the Nile. I don't remember why we watched this versus the Kenneth Branagh.
This one was free.
This one was free. That is why.
Also, were you avoiding it because of those Gal Gadot memes of her acting in Death on the Nile?
There is that, of course.
Oh, I haven't seen
she
those.
is she is in it. No, so we watched this because it was free. Peter Ustinov, it had Angela Lansbury in it, had George Kennedy in it, it had Betty Davis in it, had Maggie Smith in it.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
Oh my God, there was more. I can't remember though.
Shit.
It's so good. So there were 3 theatrically made Peter Ustinov Poirot movies. The one you watched, Death on the Nile, then Evil Under the Sun, and then Appointment with Death. But they also made 3 made-for-TV movies with him.
And Freddie was very surprised when I decided to watch this movie because it was over 2 hours long, which is not something I normally will volunteer for.
That seems like a lot for a mystery.
I know, but this is a very complicated. This is a very there's a lot of minutia
It's so beautiful to look at
in the mystery.
that you don't care that it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long either, because I feel like it was really immersive.
The set pieces where they filmed, beautiful. It mostly takes place on a steamer going up the Nile. Lots of Egypt on display. Basically, this young heiress is murdered on the ship, and then it goes from there. And Poirot is just on vacation. He is just trying,
As so often happens to him.
to rest himself in his little gray cells, and he's not allowed.
Did you mention Mia Farrow?
Mia Farrow's in it. Can you even imagine? Now, what do you know about the Birkin bag, Andy? Was it based on Jane Birkin?
Yes,
She
it
was
was
in this
created for
movie.
her. Oh, okay. It was created for her
Yeah.
because she wanted stuff to a big bag to throw her traveling dogs in and stuff like that.
All her stuff.
And it
Interesting.
was just recently sold at auction, her original Birkin bag. I think it was like $10 million or something.
Damn.
Oh my God.
For a bag?
Oh, by the way, Amy, if you like this movie, this guy also directed that 76 King Kong remake.
I don't care for the King Kong story. It makes me sad. You know that. So I'm not going to watch it.
This one might not because it's a big man in a
Every
suit.
version of King Kong makes me sad. Want to? No.
It was Jessica Lange in his hand.
I
I think that was Jessica Lange, wasn't it?
Sure.
Yep.
Anyway, Death on the Nile. I really enjoyed myself. Extremely cozy. I'm shocked that I stayed awake for it because I was laying down and I was real comfortable.
I was glued to it.
Yeah.
It gave me the cozies. I'd never seen a Peter Ustinov Poirot movie. I've watched all of the David Suchet stuff. And then we saw 2 of the Kenneth Branagh ones.
Yeah. Good shit. I do love Agatha Christie.
Oh, thank you, Amy.
You're welcome, Andy. Thanks
Oh, well,
so much
how
for
does
thanking me.
how does it compare to the book? Is it pretty?
It was very
faithful.
faithful. It was very faithful. I was very shocked because it's
Do you prefer
a lot going
one
on.
over the other?
I'll always prefer the written word in these
Okay.
cases, but I thought it was a wonderful adaptation.
Ustinov's different than the other Poirots. He's a bitch in a
he
really
is
awesome
a
way.
bitchy queen. Loved him though.
Yeah, you're like you're always on his side.
Oh yeah.
He's never like rude. Like David Suchet has played him kind of rude sometimes, but this guy is more like he's like somehow still warm while talking to people and kind of cutting them down.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Sure.
Well, he probably cuts them down in a way that they don't know that they're being cut down.
He seems more irritated. Like I feel like he would say, if he were Southern, he would say "bless your heart" a lot.
Yeah, he would.
He gets annoyed with characters, and it's all in his face.
Yeah, that's the best shade is when they don't realize you're being shady to them.
True enough. True enough. All right,
Okay.
that's all I had to say about Death on the Nile. Andy?
Okay, well, I watched that new movie Obsession.
Oh, this has been getting all the buzz.
Yeah, here's the thing. I saw the trailer and I was like, whatever. But then it came out and I was like, oh my God, this movie's the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody's raving over it. So I was like, so I'm nosy, so I'm curious to see what everybody's thinking. And for me, for the most part, it did live up to the hype. It was a really good movie. But I will say, I was very conflicted because it's a good movie, but I didn't like how it made me feel.
Oh.
Because I felt it was a little too cruel for my taste.
Oh, no.
Okay, because
I don't
the
like
story is that this guy, he has a crush on a girl, and he's too shy to admit his feelings. So one day he stumbles upon this like magic store, and he finds this little novelty item called a one wish willow, and it says, break the willow and you make a wish, and it comes true. And you obviously you don't think it's going to really happen, right?
Right.
Because you think it's just a dumb little novelty toy, but he just wishes that this girl that he's in love with would love him more than anything in the world, and lo and behold, his wish come true, and she becomes a little too attached in a crazy way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This is a Twilight Zone story too, by the way.
Yeah, and it was very it was a Friday 13th series episode kind of like this too.
Yeah,
where like somebody's an unwilling participant in this love story,
right?
But it'd be one thing if it was. The problem is for me is because this girl who falls in love with him, the whole time she still has her consciousness in the body, but she can't. Is no in control of her body. It's this entity that's taken over her.
Oh, so you have some of her perspective. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Well, it's almost like Get Out, where somebody has taken over your body and your I guess consciousness is still trapped in like the what was it called? In Get Out.
Oh, you're talking about
the further,
the underneath, or no? What did they call it? You're talking about in Get Out. It was like
the dark place, wasn't it?
The sunken place.
The sunken place.
There
yeah.
it is. Everybody's
So
got
like
a term for their stuff.
Yeah. So the whole time she's still there and realizing what's going on to her, and this guy is like dating her and like being lovey-dovey and having sex with her, and she can't do anything about it. So just thinking about that, and that she's aware of what's going on, it was kind of hard for me to take. And you're made very well aware that he's the bad guy in this. But just thinking about her predicament is very hard for me to take. And it's slight spoiler. I'm not going to spoil the ending, obviously, but the ending wasn't satisfying for me. It just hammered home how awful her situation was.
Wow. It is kind of refreshing to hear, though, that someone's telling that story with the charmed person's perspective taken into account at all. Because every other time I've heard that story told, the person that's being charmed is like a prop. They're not a character, really.
Yeah, when you think about those type of stories where a person is charmed, it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
To think about, and to, like you said, to see her perspective from it, and it's really disturbing.
Think about that next time you cast charm person on someone in your Dungeons and Dragons game.
Like when you think about it, it's basically rape.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, it's hard for me to reconcile a great movie with what they're trying to show. I mean, it's not like violent or anything like that, but she's still unwilling.
Right. You don't want to feel bad. So for you, it wasn't worth, if I'm understanding what you're saying, it wasn't worth like feeling that bad.
No, it's like a nod. It was a really good movie. It was really well made.
Oh, okay.
Really well acted. But I just didn't like how it made me feel at the end.
Yeah.
And I just needed a more satisfying ending for myself.
I gotcha.
I see.
I think you're making good sense here, sir.
Making excellent sense. That's an interesting
POV.
So
it's just a personal thing for me. If you do like this movie, like, you're totally right to like it because it's a really good movie. But for me, just thinking about what was going on with her, it was really hard.
Makes sense.
I get it. I'm not way with some movies, but you know all about that. Milk and Cereal. Have you seen his found footage movie he made? Called
I guess he was a guy who he started on YouTube as well, right? That's what I understand.
Oh, is he a YouTube? All these guys are YouTubers now.
I think it's kind of like the Australian brothers. I did bring her back and talk to me. Or and that guy Chris Stuckman.
Yeah,
he had that Shelby Oaks and Markiplier.
Yeah,
he had a big movie that came out recently. So I think YouTube's been around for a while, but it's interesting how many directors are coming out of that now.
Curry Barker's his name, the guy who did Obsession and Milk and Cereal, which, Amy, I guess you got to watch found footage.
Guess I gotta.
It's only an hour and 4 minutes long, and it's fairly new. It came out in 2024. So.
That runtime makes me want to run and spend some time with it. All right. Well, thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
At the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs, patreon.com/NOTLP. If you want to become one, if you want to learn more, if you want to access extra content, you want to. Beelzebubs are Matt, Branan, and Emily, Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Bill Sturd, Bill Fahrner, Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Monica, Ernest, Dave, and Shayna Bobena. Thank you so much for everything, person listening to this.
See you all in the Discord, by the way.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on of London.